Well, I think Fame and Muscle Shoals Music is here because we're fiercely independent. We've been doing business with Bank Independent since the 70s, and to know that they've got our back, it means a lot. They've always been there, and it's always just been a phone call away.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
All right, we have a lot to talk about in this Live at 5 weather update today with active weather on the way. We're quiet for now, though. Here's a live look at the Arctic Air Skycam network as we head to the 5 o'clock hour this afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies. This is the Lawrenceburg camera here. 84 degrees despite the cloud cover, though. 64 is the dew point. So we have a moisture-rich atmosphere. Dew points are continuing to increase on the southwesterly winds we have. It's currently at 3 miles per hour, but there have been gusts today. It's jumped up to 7 right there, and there have been gusts today as high as 15 to 20 miles per hour. That will continue tonight, and that will continue for our Friday as well. We'll slide down to the University of North Alabama in Florence. This is the Top Rivers Hall on the Arctic Air Skycam network. We're looking back southeast toward Wilson Dam. 84 degrees here on top of the building as well, dew point 67, and currently right this moment, a west wind coming in 3 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy to overcast here as well. There have been a little bit of sunbreak activity this afternoon across the region. What you see on live Viper Doppler radar here, this is mostly mid to upper level stuff, scanning from distant radars because I have a composite of all the NEXRADs across the area. Not really much of anything except a sprinkle reaching the lower levels. A lot of this is anvil cloud blow off from thunderstorms back in Arkansas, and then some mid-level moisture here with the clouds moving across the area. Many of us in southern middle Tennessee, low to mid 80s at the Sour, mid to upper 80s down over northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi. We're going to be into the 80s once again tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, active weather moves in. There's a slight chance we may have a couple thunderstorms during the overnight hours, so tonight we'll have to watch as well. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. We're quiet. You can see the anvil blow off from the thunderstorms off to the northwest. There is a severe thunderstorm watch currently in northeast Arkansas to northwest Tennessee. That's north of our viewing area. It's for this little complex of thunderstorms near the Jonesboro, Arkansas area. It's having trouble holding together, but some computer models show additional thunderstorm development this evening in Arkansas that may push into Tennessee during the overnight, and that's what we'll have to watch for a slight chance of a few strong thunderstorms in parts of our area for the overnight. There is a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe storms for tonight in the overnight toward daybreak across southern middle Tennessee down to about the Highway 72 corridor northwest Alabama. It runs from Tishomingo County along Highway 72 in Colbert County over to about Athens and northward. Now, I will say up front that I don't really think that North Alabama and North Mississippi will be involved in any thunderstorm activity tonight because the main lifting in the atmosphere is farther north, and we also have a lid of warm air aloft, a capping lid over North Alabama overnight. So I think we're going to be quiet here. It coming this far south is just a just in case because this is a national level office that draws these outlooks, and they have to do a gradient because of how things work out. The better chances of thunderstorms overnight will be in the yellow shaded regions near and north of I-40. That's north of our viewing area. However, a couple of strong thunderstorms may skirt areas north of Highway 64 in southern middle Tennessee during the overnight. Some computer models, like our Barron in-house model, have it between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. for the little time frame we'll have to watch. Other models have it closer to sunrise, so we're just going to say that overall overnight toward daybreak time period. It's a very low threat of 1 or 2 storms with the wind and hail risk and a very, very, very low chance of a brief tornado north of Highway 64, but it's not a zero threat, so we will be staffed here in the overnight just in case a stray storm decides to misbehave. For the vast majority of us, though, we're going to be quiet. As we head into Friday night, tomorrow night, that's when the more widespread thunderstorm situation affects the area. It's still looking like mainly an overnight thunderstorm complex that will be weakening as it moves in. However, a few models have flirted with the idea of maybe an evening supercell near or just to the north of our viewing area, close to I-40, maybe as far south as Highway 412. If that happens, there could be a few tornado warnings tomorrow evening, Friday evening, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. in those areas near Highway 412 are just north of there, north of our viewing area. So we may have to watch that for a couple of isolated tornado warnings. Then after 10 p.m., closer to 11, 12 in toward the early morning hours, we'll have a gradually weakening linear complex of thunderstorms. It will be a weakening line of thunderstorms coming in that may have a few areas of damaging straight line winds and a very, very low chance of a tornado or two. So there may be some severe thunderstorm warnings with that. Here's how the Friday night threats break down. Again, an isolated tornado or two possible, can't be completely ruled out, but that's a very low risk. The primary threat with the Friday night storms, damaging straight line winds of 50 to 65 miles an hour. Not everybody affected by that line is going to have wind that strong, but spotty pockets in the line as it slowly weakens may produce 50, 60, 65 mile per hour wind gust. That's enough to knock down trees and power lines. If there are any evening storms that are cellular, and that's a low risk, but it's possible, there could be some hail up to $half size. However, if we just see the overnight complex, we're not likely to have too much in the way of hail that's larger than pea to dime size. Localized street flooding is possible, but because we're not looking at multiple rounds of thunderstorms tomorrow night, we're not looking at slow movers. They'll be on through here in a few hours. Not looking at major widespread flooding, but at some localized street flash flooding, certainly possible. So we'll be here tomorrow night as well. Tiny threat tonight, low to medium type threat Friday night. Neither one of these look like a big situation or tornado outbreak or anything like that. Here's the Futurecast breakdown starting this evening. You can see the Futurecast picking up on that spotty mid-level moisture. There may be a sprinkle or two out of this evening, still into the 80s. It's going to take a while for us to cool down because the gusty winds and the moisture kind of keep the clouds kind of keep the temperatures on the warm side overnight. So I don't think we get out of the 70s for most of us unless we do have some rain-cooled air up here near Highway 412. This is where the Futurecast model shows a few of these spotty, strong thunderstorms overnight that we'll have to watch for that very low but non-zero threat of a few severe storms. It's a low threat, but it's not a zero threat, so we'll watch it. Other models have it closer to 5, 6, 7 a.m. instead of 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. So just watch that overnight time period. It's nothing you need to stay up all night for and worry about. It's a very low threat, but understand that there could be a warning or two, especially north of Highway 64 in Tennessee. And then we're mainly quiet for the daytime hours of our Friday. Can't rule out a stray shower or thunder shower in the afternoon with daytime heating as we get back up into the mid to upper 80s. But it's the late evening and the overnight here, and I think it's closer to 10 p.m. or after when this thunderstorm complex comes in from the northwest. It will be weakening with time as it comes in, but it may not be rapidly weakening. It may be more of a gradual weakening. So there is still the potential for damaging straight line winds with this and a very, very low chance of a spin-up tornado or two. I think by midnight to 1 a.m. it's crossing out of Tennessee into North Alabama with at least a severe threat. There will likely be lingering rain and thunder over southern middle Tennessee into the early morning hours. Pressing on south as we head through the early morning, and just how far south this gets in Alabama before it fizzles out Saturday morning determines whether we have the potential for afternoon and evening thunderstorm redevelopment on Saturday. If those thunderstorms fizzle faster so that they don't push that rain-cooled air all the way through our area Saturday morning, there's a chance that some afternoon redevelopment could get going here on Saturday. Spotty thunderstorms with isolated wind and hail, and there is a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe storms for that. However, if the thunderstorm line Friday night and early Saturday morning stays more organized for longer and pushes farther south, this risk would be pushed south of our area. So there's some question marks on Saturday, and then that causes question marks on Sunday. So we'll keep a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for both days, but know that there are question marks on the exact evolution of how that will go down. Showers and thunderstorms still possible into Monday as well. And then another strong storm system comes out Tuesday night into Wednesday morning that may have a risk of strong thunderstorms with it. Before that brings some cooler air to the area for the second half of next week. Check out the temperature trend. Here we go from the mid to upper 80s tomorrow through the weekend. maybe back to the low to mid 70s the second half of next week behind that midweek system. So some cooler air on the way, a break in the heat as we head into the second half of next week. But some off and on periods of active weather until then. Slight chance of some isolated strong thunderstorms during the overnight, mainly north of Highway 64 in southern Middle Tennessee. Overnight lows here into the lower 70s. Northwest Alabama, northeast Mississippi, I think you're mainly quiet for the overnight, mostly cloudy and breezy with overnight lows here also mainly into the lower 70s. 7-day forecast, overnight strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow night with a weakening storm complex, damaging straight line winds, the primary threat, but can't rule out a stray brief tornado or two tomorrow night. And then it's a question mark on afternoon and nighttime thunderstorms for Saturday, but it's possible for redevelopment. Just not sure yet if it's going to be here or if it's going to be south of the area. Chance of thunderstorms Sunday and Monday, and then maybe another chance of strong thunderstorms Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We're still working on details of that, so we're not going to put the bars red just yet. We want to see how that trends the next couple days. Maybe lingering showers into Thursday as cooler air moves into the area. There's Look your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.